Howdy guys, this is Grim from Grim Mafia here in Transport Fever. We are going to start a new game of Transport Fever, as you can tell, and going to have a couple of goals here. One of the goals is going to be to connect most, if not all, of our industry so that we can get many a train running back and forth and making lots of money. And then the other goal is to obviously connect all the cities. And the third goal is to get all the goods and all the end products to each and every city. And I've been through and I have added tons of mods. All the locomotives that I could find and want, and all the different wagons that I could find and want. And we're going to employ most of those, if not all, in this series as well. And we're starting here in 1850 with zero money. But to get us rolling, we're going to give ourselves a $100 million loan to get things started. So we're just going to start off doing this right here, right now. Get up to 100 million and go from there. And hopefully that will set us up nicely for the beginning game, and probably have it all spent by 1900 and be needing to be self-reliant from then on. Go ahead and get all these placed. And we'll get going. 100 million, alright. And we have no loan, so we do have another 10 million here in the early game we can use if we absolutely need to. And I think the first goal is to connect Thousand Oaks, Boise, and Dayton together in a circular kind of pattern, and then from Boise out to Pembrokes, and have Boise kind of be a main hub over here going to Chula Vista and Concord. And then we'll go from there and see how far we get. Right now we're paused. We're going to get our stations all set up. We're going to use maximum straight length 10, street size small, urban old, no curvatures. I'm going to use all the street connections. Platform length, we're gonna 200 early style, yeah, and we'll start with 4 tracks. There's 10 meters on that side. Let's go. Interesting. Anyway, alright. That'll have to do. So let's go ahead and set our first train station there. And 1000 Oaks, or 1000 Oaks. And that's gonna have a fun little time up and over this way. The reason for the 4 tracks is to have direct routes to other places as well. So we're not going to be dumping any cargo off at any passenger station at all. So if we're coming from there, that should do. We'll turn that on to get our elevation looking good. Throw that there. Maybe want to curve this station around like that, maybe. Max curve, sure. heading off in the right direction to Boise. As you can see with the terrain, that initial 10 million wouldn't get us very far. We're going to use the inside tracks. I'm going to double track this initially. And we're going to use just a standard, that's the narrow gauge, just the standard tracks to begin with. And, okay, inside tracks. Try and keep it on the cheap if we can, and avoiding deleting things that we don't need to delete. And we'll try to keep things interesting. Some tunneling. Yep, that makes some sense. We'll stay on the above ground, above this line. We'll stay around this line. There we go. Just follow the curvatures of the hillside here. Should make for an interesting looking route. Speed in the early game doesn't matter as much as it does in the later game. Then again, we'll go to the inside. Connect this bad boy up. Go back through and fix the road before I forget. And find that mod and delete it, because that road mod is quite annoying to work through. Good looking road there. We'll just fling that in there like that. Boise's a good looking town. Throw some medium streets up in there. There we go. Fling some stuff out like that here. Keep things looking interesting. Fling some track out here just as a placeholder so roads don't get in here and cut it off. Do the same over here. Those will be deleted later, but they're just placeholding right now. Alright, so next, I need to get to Dayton. Come through here. Probably ought to swing around that way. We'll follow up around that lumber mill. Go ahead and cross, do a level crossing. See how that looks when a train runs over it. Probably not great. That's alright though. Bring that down. 6 right there. Nice and level. And then get our shell sucked up to Dayton. Alright, on to Dayton. Quite the hill to come down. Might come down in an S shape. Let's see how we do with that. Down. Like the tunnel. Avoid that if we can. Come down this way maybe. Or better yet, this way. There we go. That's looking good. Get back, become a little leveler. That. Figure out. So that's still the inside track we're using. Okay. Doesn't slow around that corner, but that makes things interesting. Swing in like that. And hook in like that. Perfect. Looking good.
Work on that.
All right. Now we are going to go from Dayton to Thousand Oaks, using as much of this as we can. So maybe we'll get in here first, going up, more up, and then a level there. Come out this way and follow the mountain around along this here gradient. That looks pretty good. Then we'll obviously have to come down this way. So we'll take that and just level that off. Then we'll start coming down with it. Come down like that. Like that. And we're going around this corner. Come around that mountain when she comes, obviously. Keep on coming down. That's looking better and better. There we go. There we go. That's awesome looking. We'll delete this back just a hair and get a nice even slope there so it's not digging into the ground. that's done. So we'll fish this back through. Pretty unique and fun passenger line. And when we get to the goods, I'm going to do something similar but on a larger scale, so stick around for that. And the scale on the goods lines will be much larger too. So we're going to follow this dark line. So maybe I'll delete this back. I'll just come around like this. Avoid that massive valley as best we can. Come around like this. That's looking good. And at this stage I'm not worried about the speed, but more the aesthetic. Follow it around like this. Come back this way. And curve up left again. Getting 2,000 oaks. So around here we'll, well, no. So around here. We'll swing it around. And hook into the inside again, yeah. There we go. We'll take this guy. Staying along the same elevation roughly, keeping things interesting. Cutting through the mountain. It's kind of fun, I like that. I'll bring this back there. More straight. Nope. This way. There we go. That's looking good. Auto save, thanks for showing up. Saving my bacon. Follow that all the way through. Double track it all the way to right there. There we go. Now that's quite the route, or the route. So we'll start there, to there, to there. Look at that. And I'll add another one that goes from there to there to there. Up on the right, down on the left. Looks good to me. And we'll call this what's a good name for this? Mountain Pass Express. This will be the Mountain Pass Express to, we'll just give this an Express 1. There. Okay. Make sure all are, that's tucked up, and that's hooked up. We'll make that a little prettier. Follow that out that way. All right. I think I'm going to start off with 4 trains in either direction. So what we're going to want Let's see. Where's a good place for a possible train depot? Throw this road back in. Maybe we'll have a train depot back up in here, just kind of a big rail yard that'll hook into both ways. So we'll see what we got. With it being 1850, I think we'll just stick with a couple of these guys. Just throw a couple of them in. Maybe some over here. We'll play with getting things hooked up later. That's just going to be a good looking rail yard at some point. So we'll just play with these first three to begin with. We'll do that. We'll do that. And we'll hook in there. Can't come off like that, so we'll come off like that. There we go. We'll have these guys feeding off into their own lines as well. We'll have 1, 2, 3, alright. There we go. We'll have this guy come off here and fish around like that. I'll feed these two into here like that. And then feed this guy around. There we go. That's fun. But we'll take this first one all the way here, and level crossings is going to be the name of this game since they're not going to be widely used. And we'll come across like that, hook into there. That's perfect. And we'll go ahead and double slip that. And I think we'll go ahead and come off over here. Feed into this line over here. Like that, there we go. Maybe not, maybe we'll come off down here like this. That looks a little better. There we are. Gotta double slip that as well. If we can, which we can't, so that's alright. So we'll just feed that up like that. Perfect. Not so perfect. Like that. There we go. Close enough, alright. So we can get on both ways and they can get off both ways. We'll come back later and pretty that up. Still have 91 million to play with. We got 10 million would have been gone already. So now we will go back to that, do some signaling. We'll have a signal there, and a signal there. Signal there, there. And I'm alright signaling outside here. So we can get as many trains coming on as we can. Throw a signal here. We're always going to have a signal right in front of the station, both ways. Probably have a signal right in front of the tunnel and right in front of the tunnel the other way. Halfway. Whoops. There we are. With roads, I like to leave them clear if possible, so we'll do that there. Call that in front of the station that way. And in front of the station this way. I'll do that same thing here, and there's a block. And there's a block. And there, and there. And there, and there. Alright. I'm going to finish it up off this way. A fun little straight section through the mountain pass. And we'll throw on that last signal there. Alright. That should do it. Now, for the first trains of the series, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, and we're going to deploy from these 3. Now locomotives, that's all we have in 1850, so we'll play with it. So 31, 40, 25, and 25. Attractive effort. That's one of these 2 Russian numbers. Alright, let's stick with the 31 for now. 31 miles an hour with the higher attractive effort, more pulling power up the hills. And then we're going to go with 25, 37, 37, 50. And we'll stick with the Russian numbers. We'll do 3, so that's 8 times 3 is 24. Alright. We'll do that. Kill that. Do the same over here. That one. With 1, 2, 3. Copy. Yoink. 1, 2, 3. Copy. Alright. We'll do 9 trains. Better make an even 10, 5 for each, right? Alright, so 5 trains each. That should get us going. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Alright. I'll go through and vehicles is 5. Vehicles is 5. 2, 3, 5, 7, 8. That's awesome. Alright. Alright. Let's get the show on the road. And for this series, I'll plan to keep it rolling as much as possible. Pausing as little as possible so that we continue to roll the time forward and to continue to make money. And that looks pretty awesome. Look at the details, mediocre. You can climb the hills. Get up to full speed pretty quickly. you're headed to Dayton, you're headed to Dayton, and you're headed to Thousand Oaks. Alright. That's fun. We'll go ahead and speed it up. Get them all flowing through here. Going to go across to Dayton. Perfect. We'll throw it on another signal there just to keep these guys rolling. Going off to Thousand Oaks. And look at that, you're in Thousand Oaks. Look at that. That should generate pretty good numbers right off. And the AI is already trying to do some funky things, just like you'd expect, right? Right. We'll go ahead and follow this out along here. That's fine. There we go. We'll do the same over here. Gives it a fun little look. Clean this off that way. Perfect. It'll take some time for everything to space out. Still have trains coming out. I think you're your last one. Nope, not quite the last one. Keep things a little spaced, we'll lengthen those blocks just a bit. We'll get rid of this here too. There we are. Just to help things space out. I think we're gonna need a shuttle system up here since all the residential's over there, so we'll go ahead and get that going here now. I like the bus tram depots as best as I can. And we'll go ahead and use standard bus stops. So we'll go from here to there. Oh, kind of on that small road there, back out to here. I'm going to figure eight that as well. So, Boise, come back in, back out, and then back home. Alright. Boise halt, 1 and 2. There we are. Call this Boise Transit. We'll go ahead and throw we'll throw it out here, right there. We'll slow it back down. And what do we got? We just got some stagecoaches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exit line, Boise Transit. Alright. We'll go out and do the same for Dalton. And if you're hearing anything in the background, that is my wife doing some work around the house. I'll throw that there. Look at our Alright. Go back to our regular. We'll throw that there. That there. And things will develop here. Alright. Perfect. We'll do another transit line for Dayton. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And Dayton goes to 2. There we are. Well, if I could spell, we'd be alright. Dayton. Dayton. There we go. Train. Alright, get your fingers in the right spot and type like you know how. There we are. Throw in a depot, or a depot. If you've had too much pot, you can go to one of these and depot yourself. Just kidding. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Set line, Dayton Transit. And now for Thousand Oaks. Same idea. Throw that there. Look at where we got things. We want to come up. Let's go ahead and throw some roads in. Connect things up. Just like that. And we'll throw this out that way. That up like a normal person would. There you are. And we'll throw in something like that there too. Okay. So we'll come up this way. Over this way, I think. Up that way. Down this way. Through the center of town, and then done. Line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Perfect. And this will be Thousand Oaks Transit. Perfect. I'm throwing another depot with another 6 for this one. There we are. Alright. Progress has been made. Just to keep you guys a little excited, coming up in future episodes, when we decide to get to our goods lines and whatnot, we're going to have a massive double track, maybe quad tracked loop around the map that will act as the main line for the goods, and every item that we can feed into it, we will. And then we'll have it peel off towards cities and do a one track through that'll come out and feed a city or two, and then come back onto the main line and go back to the main hubs. And we may or may not have a hub here in the middle that we can feed things to as well. So it'll be a massive loop that'll look really good going through the mountains and through the valleys. And that main line itself will be a just giant loop, and it'll feed things into it. So look forward to that. That won't happen for a little while yet. We got to get some cities and the transit system set up for this way, so we can start making a little cash. Got to let some of the years progress by so we can get some more options of our hauling, because if we look at what we got wagon wise, we're actually alright. We can work on start getting our goods line lined up. We do have 80 million to play with roughly, so maybe that'd be worth it. So look forward to something exciting next time, and I'll leave it right there, and we'll leave ourselves off with a little view of a little Russian number. Getting ready to pass another little Russian. Look at that wood. It's not even coal. It's so early they're using wood to power themselves. Choo-choo. Alright, I have been the Grim Mafia. Thanks for joining me here. Hope you guys will like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thank you so much.